Three Identical Strangers. Three Identical Strangers was released in 2018 and is directed by Tim Wardle. And basically, the film tells a true story of three identical triplets who were separated at birth into three different families. However, after 19 years of not knowing each other, they finally meet. And when they finally meet each other, they're beyond happy. Honestly, they really are. But as the film unfolds, you find out the dark truth as to why these triplets were separated. And that's all I'm going to say about the film. Honestly, I think this is one of the films which is better watched not know much about it. Honestly, I really do, because I didn't know much about it going in, and I had such a better experience watching the film. Honestly, I just told you the setup there. There's so much more to it than that. And oh my god, in my opinion, this film is just one big emotional roller coaster from start to finish. And I'm even going to go as far as to say it's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. Honestly, I really do. And it didn't actually feel like a documentary, well, in the best way possible. Like, as soon as I got in there, it didn't feel like a documentary. It just felt like I was watching this film take place, this story, be told to me in this incredible way. And that's what's so good about this film. That's what's so good about this documentary, the way the story is told. And that's what this film does so well. It does what every documentary needs to do, but in the best way possible. It gets you invested in the story just like that, and at the same time, though, it gets you invested in the story you literally know nothing about going in. Well, I didn't anyway. And honestly, I was just such a big emotional roller coaster that I just didn't expect. Because honestly, I sat down to watch the film with a bit of reservation. I was like, am I going to actually like it? Because I must admit, there's some documentaries I've seen which I really like. But there are also some documentaries that I've seen which I'm not really the biggest fan of, which I can't really get into. So I did sit down to watch the film last night on Netflix. I was like, am I going to like it as much as everyone else likes it? Am I going to really get into it? Because sometimes the documentary format doesn't always work for me. When it does, it works really well. But sometimes it just doesn't work for me, I'm going to be honest. But about 5 minutes into the film, I was like, I'm in. This is investing, this is interesting, and this is just unexpectedly great. Literally, I think the thing that got me invested in the film, actually, was the fact that Since You've Been Gone by Rainbow played. Since you've been gone, out of my head, can't take it, da-da-da-da. That song played, which is actually a really good song, one of my favourite songs, by the way. And that played at the 5 minutes of the film. I was like, yeah, now you got my investment, but keep my investment. And that's what the film managed to do. It didn't ever not keep me interested, which I'm so surprised by. Literally, I was glued to the screen from beginning to end in the best way possible. And at the same time, though, it's told in this way which is just so interesting and so gripping, quite literally, because you actually have interviews from the triplets, who were actually separated at birth and then found each other 19 years later. You have interviews from them in the film, but at the same time, you also have interviews from people close to them, the triplets' wives in the film, the best friends, the adopted families and everything. And that's really interesting to watch, and it makes it just that bit more authentic, and it also makes it more shocking, because there are actual moments in the film which it's just you're looking at the screen going, oh wow, that's remarkable, okay, that's remarkable, that's remarkable, wow, that is remarkable, and it just gets more and more remarkable as you watch the film. And at the same time, though, there are general moments in the film which you're just like, how can that happen? How are people like that? And that's what makes this film so fantastic to watch. That's what makes it such an incredible documentary, because it got me interested in the story like that. A story that I didn't know anything about just within the first 5 minutes. And that's how fantastic this documentary is. And at the same time, though, it's only an hour and a half. And it managed to do all those things in an hour and a half. Well, it's over an hour and a half. It's about an hour and 35 minutes, actually. But, yeah, my point, it managed to do all this big emotional things in the film in a short amount of time, and quite quickly, to be honest. There's lots of moments in the film where you're kind of smiling along with it. Go, okay, that's quite remarkable, actually. I'm happy for them and everything. But then the actual moments in the film are like, oh my God, I can't believe that even happened, and that's what makes this film work so well. The story is just, it's shocking, but in the best way possible. It's shocking like you want from a documentary. That's what you want from a documentary. You want a shocking story. You want a story which you can sit there and go and just be fully invested and just forget about everything else going around you. Just be thoroughly invested in what's going on and literally be shocked, surprised, pleasantly surprised, but also angrily surprised. Like, there's a moment in the film, like I said, where you just want to go, how can people do that? Oh my God, the moments in the film which work so well. And I think that's where Three Identical Strangers, triumphs over so many other documentaries that I've seen. It literally had me in moments wanting to scream at the TV about what was actually going on in the film. Not the fact that the documentary was bad in any way, because it wasn't bad in any way. And what I mean was it had me literally screaming like at the story being told, because of how hard to watch it is sometimes. That the actual interviews in the film, which are hard to watch, but so compelling to watch. It's like unique form that always makes me like a film a bit more. I had my jaw dropped open quite a few times, and I'm not exaggerating there. I actually generally had my jaw dropped open quite a few times. And not even some of the dark revelations, some of the light-hearted revelations. Like, oh wow, that's pretty cool actually. Then so even some of the light-hearted stuff, not to give too much away, goes dark, and that's what's really interesting about it. It's a story that's told in such a way. You know, Tim Wardle, the director of the film, actually could have told the story in a much conventional way, which probably wouldn't have been as effective. And I think the way he told the story, the way it's put together, like, literally, you think you've got one thing, you think you've got all the answers, and then something else entirely out of left field will come in and like, oh, that's just, wow, I didn't realise that even, that, oh god, like in the best way, that's what you want from the film. And I just think it's surprising, shocking, and just so investing, all in the best way possible. It really is, and I just can't believe this story even happened as well. It's such an unbelievable story, but even as one of the triplets says at the start of the film, like, you're not going to believe the story unless I tell it. And that's literally what it's like. It just makes it more and more shocking, the fact that they're telling the story, the fact that this really happened. It's the fact that it's kind of still happening. Well, if you watch the documentary, you go, I mean there, but it's just, it's so incredible, this. It really is. And I honestly don't have anything bad to say about the documentary. I don't think it's biased either. I think it gives an equal opinion on both sides. Not to give too much away, but I think it gives an equal opinion on both sides. And I think it has those emotional moments, those light moments, those moments where you smile, those moments when, you know, songs from like Since Been Gone by Rainbow, which is a brilliant song by the way, and also, you know, Kids in America is playing, you're like, that's a really good song. But then also moments in the film where you're like, I can't believe, how are people like that? How are people like that? Oh my god, how did that even happen? Oh, why does this story even exist? Because it's such an interesting story to watch, don't get me wrong. I'm shocked that this even happened. I really am. I'm shocked that people like this. And if you watch the documentary, you'll know exactly what I mean there. And it is really one of a kind documentary. It's a documentary you'll never ever forget. Honestly, it really is. And one last thing before I get my rating on the video, just to say this. If you watch this documentary, you know what I mean here. Basically, after this documentary actually got released on Netflix, other pairs of twins have actually found each other, which is actually quite sweet and special when you come to think of it. And if you've seen the documentary, you know exactly what I mean there. If you haven't, you have that to look forward to, you know what I mean there. Because honestly, that is actually quite special and sweet when you see the documentary and you actually learn about that. I looked it up after and I was like, I'm so happy that's happened. I really am. And I'm happy that this documentary did that as well, because I think this documentary, it's fun, it's kind of exciting in some stages, which I didn't expect to say as well. At the same time though, it's shocking, it's surprising, it's just so much of a big emotional roller coaster in the best way possible. And honestly, I absolutely love this film. I really do. And for that reason, I'm going to say that Three Identical Strangers, I'm going to say it's a 10 out of 10. I actually love this film. I didn't expect to at all. I sat down to watch it on Netflix, like I said, and I just thought it'd be good at its best. I didn't realise how much I would be fully invested in the story up until literally the last second of the film. That's what makes it work so well. Honestly, I said it before and I say it again, it does everything a documentary needs to do, and it does it so well. It gets you invested in the story just like that. Honestly, in the first, not even in the first 5 minutes, in the first 3 minutes, I was invested in the story, I wanted to know where it was going to go, and honestly, it delivered on it. At the same time though, it got me interested in the story I knew absolutely nothing about going in, and that's what makes it work so much. That's what makes it work so much as a documentary. That's where documentaries work the best, and that's where Three Identical Strangers worked its best. Honestly, it's so fantastic to watch, and at the same time though, it's a shocking story told in this incredible way that I just think, if it was told in a different way, maybe I wouldn't love this film so much. But the fact is, it was told in the way it was, and it's told in this way that lets you thought, okay, that's remarkable, okay, that's getting even more remarkable, okay, that's getting even more remarkable, up to the point that, oh my god, how can this get even more remarkable? Oh wait, it just did. And that's what makes the film so incredible. Honestly, I really can't recommend the film enough. I think it's just absolutely incredible. And like I said before, I actually think it's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. And so, all in all, I'm going to say that Three Identical Strangers is a 10 out of 10 from me. Anyway guys, what do you think? Oh, Three Identical Strangers. Please do comment down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Honestly guys, I can't recommend this documentary enough. It's only on Netflix and it's on all 4 as well, so it's only a click away. Honestly, I really can't recommend it enough, and it's an emotional roller coaster you'll never ever forget. Anyway guys, thank you as always for watching, and if you haven't yet, please do click down below and like, subscribe on the video, and look forward to many more both film and TV coming very, very soon on this channel. See you guys again soon, bye bye for now, bye!